Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're listening to the podcast Capturing Magic. I'm Bill Rogers, the voice of Disney. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everyone, welcome to Capturing Magic. I am Steph, and I am here with Tanya Hickman, who can be found at everymagicmoment.com. Hi, Tanya.
Hello.
Did I just say Tanya?
I don't know.
Say Tanya. Okay. You're responding to both, so that's good.
I responded to both, so.
I'm sorry if I did.
No, I don't think you did.
Okay.
I would have been like, ugh.
Oh, good. You would have been like, hey, call me out on it. We also have here with us today Heather Winfield, who can be found at heatherw.com/character. Hey, Heather.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. Girls, I'm excited. You ready to visit about, let's see, today we were talking about what we do in the parks to make sure that we're capturing and documenting our trip. I know you have some good stuff for me. Okay, one of the things that I know that you guys have talked about how you both make lists of photos that you want to get.
Okay. Let me. Heather makes the list. I tell her my requests, and she makes the list to the point where, like, even if she's not with me on a trip, I still have her making my list. And then I have to have her send me reminders.
That's really funny. So do you have standing photos that you have to get every time you go?
Not really. No, I don't know. I mean, it depends if it's Christmas time, Christmas tree, obviously, or something like that.
In front of the castle, don't you do that every single trip?
Yeah, but I guess we do. Yeah, no, we do. Our lists are usually like what's like new, if there's anything new, or if there's anything holiday related going on, or if there's just anything that we need to see that we haven't seen. It's always usually that's what happens when you go too much.
Yeah. Yeah, like I can tell you like my list because we're going for the holidays at Disneyland. So we're going for the Avengers race. So like my list right now is all this Christmas stuff because I haven't been for Christmas in years. So there's a lot of new stuff for me. So like the Viva Navidad stuff and like the different characters that meet there. And then the Buena Vista Street characters have Christmas overlays. So I list like all that kind of stuff. And you have Santa meeting in a new place. And I missed like the bell ringers last time. So I need to make sure I catch them. And so those are the kinds of things that I put on the list, new things and new to me things so that I don't forget. Like they have at Epcot, they now have this Muppet Mobile Lab thing. And I said, make sure I see that. And I haven't seen that. And then I forgot to put it on my list this trip and I totally missed it. So the list is important.
The list is important.
The list can be silly stuff too. Like I wanted to take a picture of my BB-8 Alex and Andy bracelet in front of or somewhere in Tomorrowland, and I had her put that on the list so I wouldn't forget to do that. Like, it could be silly stuff too.
That's a fun idea, though. I think so.
And then I cross them off when put a little check mark next to it when we do it.
Okay, so what are you keeping this in an app or a piece of paper?
I just do it on the notes thing
app.
on the phone. It's just easier for me.
Yeah,
I'm sure we've tried to come up with like an actual app for it before, and then the notes thing is just easier. It's there already. It's not an extra thing you need to have.
Right. I totally agree. That's usually what I end up doing too. And then when I'm in the park as well, I don't know, let's go over your list a little bit because I'm sure that people that are getting ready to go to Disneyland for the holidays are kind of curious about if there's specific things that they need to make sure they get to.
Oh, yeah. Both parks have beautiful Christmas trees, so you have to have Christmas tree photos for sure.
Yeah.
Small World Holiday.
Do you guys try and do day and night in front of the trees or just get the tree? It doesn't matter. Yeah.
No, definitely. Definitely day and night.
Okay.
Cars Land, Christmas time.
Yeah, there's because the sign out front. The sign out front is different, and there's the Christmas decorations are so fun in Cars Land.
Yeah,
so fun.
And the New Orleans Square has decorations.
Yeah, really beautiful decorations. And so then you mentioned Small World too, Tanya.
Oh yeah, Small World Holiday.
Yeah.
At night, not during the day.
It's not as attractive during
the
day.
Day they have the Santa hat on the
True.
Oh, that's true. I forgot they have that. Yeah. That's Christmas time is the only time that ride is a must for me. Like I can do without it the rest of the time of the year, but I love that ride at Christmas time, the inside and stuff. So
Yeah, because on the inside, spoiler alert, they have they sing Christmas songs.
Yeah, it's really cute.
And they have
and
Christmas
everything,
smells.
Things all decorated and
Yeah. Yeah, totally decked out for the holiday. It's fun.
Yeah, I definitely wish I had that.
Yeah, I saw the castle is decorated as of yesterday too.
Oh, how fun.
So it's ready for Christmas. I'm assuming that's all they're going to do to it. They might put it more. I don't know. But it looks like it has the icicles and the wreath and everything on it and the snow's on it.
Fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I love Christmas time.
This is gonna be a problem. It's just gonna make me want to go. I think I'm gonna crash your party.
Do it.
Yeah,
Have annual pass. We'll come to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And tonight, I believe, is the first day of the castle lighting at Disney World.
Ooh.
For the holidays.
Yes.
They start their holiday festivities a little bit earlier down there.
Yes, it was Halloween, and then the next day the Christmas decorations were all up. So
I've heard people that schedule trips over that time just so that they can see that.
oh yeah, I did that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was there a couple days before Halloween, and then I went to all the resorts for Halloween for the characters, and they had some really great ones out there this year. So I might be doing this again next year because took a couple years off from that. And then the next day, everything was up for Christmas, and a few days later, the Christmas party starts. So you can get the Halloween party, the Christmas party, food and wine. That was the wine and dine race, which will be perfect this year because I'm not doing it. If people don't know, the weather's been awful the last 2 years, and so I thought it was cursed for me, so I'm not doing it. And my weather app says on Sunday it will be pleasant. So you're welcome, everybody.
Yes.
Doing it.
It's just because you're not there. I'm sure. Okay, so what other kinds of things are on your list for regular times and holidays?
We usually try to, I mean, we did this last time. I'm trying to think if we've done it before. Yeah, I know we've done it before. We try to pick one day where we're wearing like matching outfits. Mm-hmm. So that we could take photos. And like the last time we were there, we both had the 60th anniversary sweater. So we made sure we took pictures in front of the castle for the 60th anniversary wearing our sweaters.
Fun.
And we took a lot of photos.
Yeah, some cute ones. Yeah.
Yeah. We wore matching shirts to the Halloween party one time. Those are some of our best photos.
Was that the year that I was there with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were literally like that whole trip is like our best photos ever.
Same with me and my sisters, because my sisters and I went and we wore matching costumes, and it was so fun. So
it makes for pleasing photos.
Yes.
You're wearing the same thing.
Yes. Or at least coordinating. You know I'm big on that. Yeah. There is, if people aren't aware, there's several posts on Capturing Magic all about how to coordinate your clothes so that it's not a mess, because I've done that. I learned from my mistakes, and I thought I would share with everybody.
You always got the one kid that's standing out in fluorescent orange, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also like to, coordinate with what we're doing or the character you're meeting or that whole kind of thing. So
the day, I do that too and especially with my daughter. If we're doing Star Wars stuff all day, we're wearing Star Wars shirts and I had Winnie the Pooh ears and a Winnie the Pooh shirt that I knew I was going to wear, but I had to make sure it coordinated on the day that we were meeting Winnie. We've done it to the point where we bring extra shirts with us to the parks to change into certain characters. Like if we don't have anything else Frozen going on, but we wanted to meet Anna and Elsa because we're going to be there, then we're going to bring the Anna and Elsa shirts to change into.
Yeah, I've had like up to 4 wardrobe changes in a day.
Goodness. I've done 2, maybe. I've never done more than that.
It's easier too when I'm going with my mom. She always brings like a big tote bag, so I can like put more clothes in there. But otherwise, I can fit like a shirt or 2 in my bag.
Yeah. Okay, so usually I usually will go through and plan out outfits, plan out what we're going to wear based on where we're eating and what we're doing. And then I make kind of mental lists. Sometimes I make lists on my phone as well of photos that I want to make sure that we get with certain characters or in certain places. When I go to Disneyland, there's certain photographs that I always like to get, of course, in front of the castle. And I will often try to go off to one of the sides of the castle because then you get less people in your photo.
Yeah, that's always when I take medal pictures. That's where I always bring Tanya over to take them for me.
Yeah, so. Front of the castle is just too hard now.
It's just so hard.
It's too hard to get a photo there. Any time of day, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I totally agree.
There's always something ugly happening behind you in the photo.
Partners is starting to get that way too, I think, a lot of times, unless the photographer gets down low. Yeah.
There's been times where like we've gotten a photographer where they wait for people to get out of the way. You know, it's nice when that happens, but it can take forever. And there's always that one person that's just like doesn't want to wait in line, but sneaks up like right next to you while you're trying to get your photo. And you're like, come on, dude.
You're in my picture.
Yeah. And even the photographer's like, seriously?
Yeah, they put their camera down. They're like, we're going to wait.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
I appreciate it when they do that.
Yes, me too.
You can't do it in front of the castle. It's too hard.
Yeah. Yeah, main entrance is another one that's getting hard, I think, too.
Yeah.
You have to get to the castle like first thing in the morning. Like beeline straight there, and then maybe you'll get lucky to get like only a couple people in the photo.
Yeah.
If they're are photo pass even out right when the park opens?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't get there at that time usually, so.
I don't either. What were you going to say, Heather?
I don't remember with this thing. I remember when I did the Magic Mornings there a couple years ago, and so that I think was probably the best picture with just like a couple random people behind me for the castle. But yeah, I think I was going to say that for the partner statue, it usually turns out better people-wise at Disneyland than Disney World, because like at Disney World, people like just sit there and they're like taking their own pictures. I don't know. It seems to be harder out there than Disneyland. There wasn't as many people around the partner statue.
Interesting.
In the picture, anyway.
Yeah.
Disneyland kind of helps that it's kind of raised too. I think like it adds some I don't know. I think it helps for some reason, and it could be on my head. I don't know. I feel like because it's raised a little bit. Like it helps with the view and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, honestly, and the people heading like towards the castle are kind of lowered a little bit, so they're not exactly in your eye line.
Yeah.
When you take the photo, so.
Yeah. When we're in California Adventure, I like to get a picture in front of the fountain or by the fountain on Buena Vista. And then if we eat at Carthay Circle, I for sure have to get a picture in front of Carthay Circle. I usually will snag a PhotoPass photographer.
We've never gotten a picture in front of Carthay Circle.
We haven't?
Like in front of the actual, like in the front of the restaurant?
Yeah.
No, I mean, we have fountain photos.
Yeah, so usually what I do is just ask them if when we're getting pictures of in front of the fountain, I'll say, we ate at Carthay, do you mind taking a picture with Carthay as well? And they're usually very happy to do that.
Okay, I am putting on the list. Picture in front of Carthay Circle.
Yeah, that's like literally our favorite restaurant to eat at.
And mine too, honestly. It's mine too. When we take the kids, I don't eat there.
Yeah.
But it is my favorite.
It's my favorite, I think, on either coast.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. With that, it's very, very good. And then also in California Adventure, you have to get a photo with Mickey's Fun Wheel in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then in front of the Cars Land sign.
And the little fake Hollywood backdrop.
Yeah. I
haven't done that in a while either.
I do it every trip.
Actually, they put a Christmas decoration up. At least they did the last couple of years. I don't know if they're going to this year, but they put the Christmas decoration of like Santa and the reindeer up, flying through the Hollywood sky.
Yes, they do that every year. They put that.
Do they do it every year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure they do.
Unless I think they do.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's the tire Christmas tree, too, over by Junkyard Jamboree. That's super fun.
And the hubcap tree down by Radiator Springs Racers. I love the Christmas decorations in Cars Land.
Yeah, they're incredible. Oh, and then there's also a photo op right by Junkyard Jamboree with one of the tractors there.
Yes.
It's there all year round. That my kids love to get their picture taken there.
Is it so cute? It's like a little pet.
It's so cute. And that's exactly what they say. They're like, it's my pet. My youngest. I shouldn't say all my kids say that. My older two might kill me, but my youngest one says, it's my pet. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I always see people stopping there during races, too.
Yeah.
They should put a photographer there, because there's always people, like, running over and taking selfies.
Haven't we gotten a photographer there before?
I've seen a photographer,
Yeah.
I feel like we've had one there, maybe.
Yeah. It can be kind of hard and awkward to get your photo taken with it, though. If there's a group of people, it's hard. If there's just a couple of you, but then when you have more, it gets difficult. It can be kind of awkward. But anyway. And when you're in the parks, I always keep a note. Okay, in my notes app, I keep notes of stuff that has happened on the trip that I know that I want to document later. When we went and saw Santa when we were in Disneyland a year ago, the elves there were hilarious, and they had the funnest interactions, the most fun interactions with my daughter and my niece. And so I put down their names in my notes app, and because I never would have. I mean, you would think mistletoe and nutmeg. You would think that you would remember that, but no, I didn't. And so when I was documenting it, it was great later to be able to pull that up in the notes app, and you can search on date too. That's the great thing about it, is it'll organize them by date.
I'm really bad at we have such great interactions sometimes, and unless Heather remembers them, I never do. And writing them down I need to start doing that because I never remember that stuff.
Yeah.
I always say I'm going to do that. And even like with the cruise, I started doing it on like the first day to remember different stuff that happened. And then I didn't do it after. And it's bad because when you do it, you have all this information and it just doesn't take long to do it. So, I should put on my list that I should do that.
Like how many times have we like met a really good cast member or something great's happened and we're both looking at each other like, what was that happened the other day? Like,
what was it? It was great, but what was it?
What were we talking about that we were laughing so hard in this photo? Like, stuff like that.
That's funny. Yeah. In Disney World, so at Epcot, I always like to take a photo of my group and then just me in each country. Yeah.
That's smart.
In Epcot, yeah.
Yeah, and by the lagoon, like in the different places and like all around. Like not with the country, but towards like Spaceship Earth and the water. Because like each one you get a different kind of background.
Different view. It's a good idea. And then Spaceship Earth, of course, you have to do that photo. And I'm trying to think of the other things that I do when I'm in the park. I screenshot. So in the park, if we split up at all, we'll text message sometimes back and forth. And so I'll screenshot text message conversations to help me remember stuff as well. And I've included those before in books because they're funny little... Sometimes they're funny conversations with my kids or whatever. Or my sister texting me about the annoying people standing by us waiting for the parade.
Oh man, I could have a whole book full of screenshots like that.
Yeah. So that's a lot of the stuff that I'll do when I'm in the parks is screenshotting and even taking a screenshot of the weather in the morning. I try to do that.
Yeah, that's something I always mean to do and most of the time forget to do. So that's
screenshots of like our Fitbit at the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah, I always do that.
I do that
and
too.
Then but yeah, the weather I have the apps that do the thing that'll put where you are in the weather and I just always end up forgetting about that. So I usually screenshot if it's something crazy weather-wise, like if it's 30-some degrees in Florida.
Matthew's coming through.
So I've done that, and I wish I could have done that when I was on the cruise, but I didn't have connection, so the weather app wasn't working. But I think that's something to definitely Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
What I was thinking. Yeah, to keep track of weather and that kind of thing.
And when we've gone to Disney World, a tip that I got from Kimberly Lund, who used to be on the Capturing Magic team, was to take pictures of clocks as you're entering the park so that you can remember what time you entered, and that's a great way to document too.
Well, with me and Heather, we're snapping photos the whole time, so we have those timestamps, but there's usually like the moment we walk in the gates, we're like snap.
Yes.
But and no, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, if I'm in the park after midnight, I generally remember to take pictures of that.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, that's always a fun thing to remember. And that tends to happen more at Disney World than Disneyland because the park hours aren't as late.
Right.
Most times, so.
Right. When we did my 40th birthday trip, that was a lot of fun. And we happened to be in Magic Kingdom. It was open a little bit later, and we happened to be in there like it was 12:30 at night. And so then that was my official birthday. And so my husband took a picture of me underneath the clock so that we knew it was my birthday.
I think the only time I've taken pictures of clocks was like 24-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try to take pictures of the clocks because it's not very often you get to see them at 3 a.m.,
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah.
I would say something that I wish I had done and I didn't, and I was kind of planning it and I didn't, is that like the first time you walk in the park to like take pictures of your shoes. Like this is my first step in Disneyland. Mm-hmm. And like I sort of remembered I was going to do it, and then I was just like, Disneyland. And I didn't.
Never mind.
You should have videoed it. That's what you should have done. Because then you'd have that whole thing. Or Tanya should have videoed you.
It just would have been her crying. It's not pretty.
Yeah. And it would also be fun if you were doing like your magic band thing, touching it to the Mickey.
Yes.
Going into the terminal. I still have cruise in my brain. So to do that, you can take pictures of that. Like, here's my first, Mickey to Mickey that you'll hear 150,000 times during your trip.
Yeah, that's a good idea to do the video of it so you can hear the noises and stuff. I did take pictures of my daughter the first time we went and had magic bands, and she did that. But I should have done video. That was before I was doing very much video back in the day, though. Now I do lots of video because it's easy to include it in my books with a QR code.
Yeah. I tried to, this last trip I didn't take too much video, but the trip before that I took almost nothing but video. Like I took so much video the trip before that, and I love seeing the videos, even if they're like, because I was using, there's an app called like 1 second or something. Yeah. So I wanted to do, because you can make the 1 second clips from, like, it's supposed to be 1 second per day, but they have a freestyle part of it where you can just make it for like a trip or however many days you want or however many seconds you want. So I knew I was going to do one for Disneyland. So literally all day, one of the days, it was a trip without Heather. So I was there with my family. So I was only there for a day. So all day I was taking, whether the clips were 2 seconds or 2 minutes, like I videotaped everything, like, and then put them all together in the 1 second clips.
That's fun.
Later in the app, like the next day. It was really easy.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's called 1 second every day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun little app. But I like taking the video, because then if I want to go through and make them into a longer movie in iMovie, I could do that too.
Yes. It's easy, so easy to do on your phone.
And taking photos from the videos is easy now too with apps.
Yes.
I love doing that.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of times I choose to video over taking photos, is because I know that I can just pull some JPEGs from it.
Yeah.
And have the best of both worlds. For sure. All right, is there any other documenting that you guys do when you can think of when you're in the parks?
No, just food photos.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, trying to remember what we're eating. Taking pictures of the menus. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
what is that? I don't remember. Let me, but if I can pull up the picture of the menu I took, I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, and I always have to like set the scene too most of the time with the picture, with the food, like put the menu behind, or, if you're somewhere with like a good view, you could do that. Like I did that a lot with the cruise. Like I got an ice pop, and so I took it where you could see the water behind and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, there's food photos, and then there's interesting food photos.
Yes. Yeah, like when I was at, I did the Remy dessert thing, and I had my, prime lens on my, SLR, and I was taking pictures, and then the people next to me are like taking their, phone pictures, and they're like, yeah, these aren't going to come out for that day. And they're like, yeah. It's like,
in the darker restaurants, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's tough. Really, even in the not so dark ones, it's hard.
The last time we ate at Carthay Circle, we were there at like an or we were there rather early, right? I'm trying to remember what time we ate. It was rather early, but it was still summer, so it was getting darker later. But we're eating and we're taking photos of the stuff. And right as Heather comes back from the bathroom to take a photo of whatever she had in front of her at the time, the lights dimmed for the ambiance. And her face was like, of course. Oh my God, it was so funny.
That's so funny.
It gets dark in that restaurant.
It gets so dark in that restaurant. Like I can't even read the menu. One time when I was there and at night when it was dark outside, I couldn't even read the menu. Like I need a flashlight. This is ridiculous.
I like those menus that when you open them up and they're lit up.
Yeah, right.
Who has that?
Well, I know they had them at Le Cellier. They had them and they didn't have them, and I haven't been there in a couple, so I don't know if they have them again, but they had them there, and I feel like they were somewhere else I went that had them.
I've never seen them before.
But, oh yeah, they're really cool. And then on the cruise, there's this Skyline bar, which is so cool. It's a different skyline from a city in the world, and it changes like every 12 minutes. So it's like Paris. Cool. It's awesome. So there is really dark in there because it's supposed to be at night. So their menu, when you opened up, lit up too.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
That is really cool. Yeah, the other thing that I guess I can say is taking screenshots. If you didn't do it, our pre-show kind of the episode before this I talked about taking screenshots of any of the dining reservations that you have or any in Disney World, the fast passes and all of that stuff. So if you haven't done that, do it by the end of the day because then it'll be gone and you can't access that again. And that kind of stuff also comes in handy the next time you're planning a trip, I think. I go back to that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, I always go back. For example, we always eat breakfast at this certain place, after a 10K. And so I always go back and try to figure out, what time did we do that? So I can make sure.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I do is trying to figure out the timing of when to make reservations because this worked out last time or it didn't work out last time. And then also pricing when I'm budgeting. I can go through and figure out, okay, this is what everybody had. This is how much we spent. Is the dining plan a good deal for us? No, it's not because we don't spend that much money on food. So it's better just to pay out of pocket, that kind of stuff.
Do you save all your receipts?
Because
I do that.
Yes, I save a lot of my receipts. I think for most of my trips, the last couple trips to Disneyland, I haven't saved all of my receipts, but before that, I did save all of my receipts.
I don't even know what I'm going to do with them, but I save every single receipt that I get at Disney, and I have them in separate bags for each trip, so you can imagine how many bags of receipts I have.
I'm
looking at them right now.
Have you noticed that they fade though over time?
Yeah, they do. But that's
really
why,
bad.
Bag, and so they're out of the they're not in the light. But yeah,
she has been in an air-controlled room.
That's really funny.
I could probably just have a room. But I had when we were on the cruise, and it took a picture of the receipt when we went to one of the adult dining things, and my mom was like, "Oh yeah, we should do that for all these things that we're doing on the cruise, because if you have to buy extra things." And so I did that for the different restaurants, but I still saved them. So I didn't know. There's probably like when I first started, I was going to do something with it in the scrapbook, and then I didn't, and now it's just like a thing.
But you know what's kind of cool is my mom, one time when I was visiting her, pulled out this big envelope thing of pictures and stuff that she's kept, and she has her Disneyland passes from when she was a little girl, and it was the year after the park opened. And
that's awesome.
And some receipts too. And so yeah, that's really like Mom, I'm totally freaking out, that she has this stuff and she won't let me touch it. Can I touch it? I think she's afraid I'm going to steal it.
I wish I had tickets from like before I had an annual pass. I mean, I have all my annual passes I got my first one in 94, I guess. So I have all those annual passes, but I wish I had like paper tickets from before that.
Yeah.
I have paper tickets from my first trips since I was an adult. So I have all them so I could go back and be like, yeah, the price is doubled.
Yeah.
So I started going. But I can see still like the ticket that I had when I was 5 and we went, and it was with the photo album that I have no idea where it is. I know it's there somewhere.
Yeah, I do. And I even like to take pictures of my receipts and make sure that I include those in photo books because I figure, 20 years from now, that'll be cool to go back and see.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, if you're not going to like at least take a picture of the receipts, then throw them out,
yeah,
because they're going to fade eventually anyway.
Yeah. When we went on our vacation to the Bahamas, I included some receipts and prices of food and stuff like that. And that's honestly the kids' favorite thing to go look at in the photo book and talk about the price differences. And even when people will come and look at that book, people that aren't family members or whatever, and if they pick it up and look at it, they'll be like, wow, look at these prices. That is the one thing that people always comment on, how different it is over, in the Bahamas, because the milk is super expensive, but yet I could buy Diet Mountain Dew for the same price. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So, okay, anything else that you guys want to mention to help people?
No, just make sure you have external chargers with you in the parks. I mean, no, I think it's just certain photo spots.
Yeah, make sure you get all of those in. One app for scanning, if you want, Scannable is a great app to scan receipts and stuff like that. You can save it to Evernote or save it to your phone as a JPEG. So, especially fast passes, because paper fast passes, I don't know that they're going to be around forever at Disneyland.
Oh, I was going to say that's another thing we always do, could be at Disneyland, because they still have paper fast passes, is to take a picture of the fast passes in front of the coordinating ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because those won't be around forever. So
yeah, I miss that. Every time I go to Disneyland, it's like paper fast passes. Like I want to hug the machine.
I know. Yeah. They're great. I love them, and I don't want to give them up either. I'm like, can I have that back for my scrapbook, please? Yeah.
Yeah, I have old ones like scattered throughout. All my past trips. I save, as you can tell, I save everything. So I have it from each trip, and so I should go through and try to figure out like how many fast passes which rides I have fast passes for. Because that was always a plan, to go around and get all of them before they got rid of them, and I didn't. And now it's probably going to be the same thing with Disneyland, so I have to go to international parks. Yeah.
That's a fun idea. So everybody next trip to Disneyland, ask for your fast passes back. Your paper fast passes back so you can keep them as a memento. Or just take a picture of them in front of the ride. That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to have a paper fast pass for each, just to have, but it's kind of, the chances of them giving it back to you are kind of slim, because they're like, we don't trust you. Like,
right.
and then you can only get one at a time, and so it's kind of like you get one and you're like gung ho to like collect them, and then I forget. Like I'll have that one and I'll be like, oh, I was supposed to go get more of those and I totally forgot and I just wasted time.
Yeah, totally. Okay, well, let's remind our listeners then where they can find us, unless you have something else pressing that we need to share. I think we covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. Alrighty. Remind our listeners then, Tanya, where they can find you.
You can find me at everymagicmoment.com and on all social media at TanyaH666.
And Heather?
My character site is heatherw.com/character, and I'm heatherw25 on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook it's I Love Characters.
Perfect. And you can find Capturing Magic on social media at capturingmagic_. We'd love to have you follow us there. And if you know somebody that is planning a Disney trip or is a Disney fan, please tell them about the podcast so they can listen as well. Thank you so much for being here, girls. And we will
Thank you.
We'll see you next time on Capturing Magic.